Another pod, another day. Today we ended up talking about the Charlie Kirk situation, about the video I just dropped, and also about Candace Owens' comments about DEI hires, more specifically women. Also went of the unholy war that the right may or may not wage against Taylor Swift. What else we talking about? Joe Budden.
Joe Budden a little bit.
And how we think it's ridiculous that kids have to pay for school meals even though they're required by law to be there. So pretty good conversation we had today.
Yeah, man, I felt good about it, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm TK, a.k.a. Soldier Slim.
And I'm Darius, a.k.a. Manny Fresh.
and this is Mind the Gap.
Joe Budden has to be one of the most gaslight niggas I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Like, just because I sent you that video. What I think is interesting is that he does something similar to what you do. Not the spazzing out part, but it's that he'll pick a part of the argument that you weren't arguing, and then he will stick with that and then drive the emotion up until it get to that level. And then he'll do what you saw he do and spaz out and walk off set and then come back. My man's like, accuse somebody else of being emotional and then be like, oh, I'm not emotional. That man can have veins popping out his neck, red in the face, looking like an angry bird, and be like, nah.
Nah, I'm going to disagree with you on what I do in comparison to Joe Budden. Because Joe Budden, what he does is take a whole left turn into the conversation. I'm only using what you said.
Yeah.
Whereas Joe Budden is, he's trying to say that you said something that you didn't say. Like that whole situation.
Well, I say he'll introduce a concept.
Yeah, he'll
that's
introduce
related to what you talking about.
But it's like, that's not what
you talking about.
Like, he does the straw man thing legitly. Like, he'll build up an argument that's not technically what we talking about.
Yeah.
But it's close enough to be knocked down.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm just waiting on you to fuck up. Like, just say something.
Yeah, and then I can just derail the whole conversation.
Oh, this screw is for the whole thing, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? That's whereas Joe Budden, he'll do that, but he also, you be like, that's not that man's point.
Yeah.
You know,
because that wasn't, in that particular instance, I think his host name, Ish, was remarking how Joe would be like,
backdoor you.
Yeah, I don't backdoor people. I don't go behind, the homie and get the girl. And Ish was like, that's exactly what you do.
That's what you do.
And then Joe was like, do you care about this woman?
Yeah, it's like, that's not what we.
So if you don't care about what we talking about, if you don't care about
bro,
like, that wasn't the issue. The issue is you said you don't backdoor. Here's an example of you backdooring your mans. And then Joe was like,
yeah,
well, if you don't care about it, then like,
why are we talking about it?
Why are we talking
No, we talking about your character right now.
You're talking about the principle of what you said. Like, these are your words.
We bringing up what you said, dog. We not. That's why I don't listen to him. Now, sometimes he has points. Like, I get, especially on music, bro. I used to like fall into the trap of like being in that echo chamber of people. Like, Joe Budden is a failed musician. It was like, and then when I heard some of the stuff he said, this before it's like he's like sometimes Notre Dame. Like, he'll say something like in the past and that junk come up in the future. Like, he made like said Drake. I remember one time he said Drake album sound uninspired and sound like he wasn't himself, and people gave him hell because of that. And then Drake said himself that even when I made these things right here, I wasn't myself at the time. I was doing it. So then it came out. Then that's when I started really paying attention to what he was saying and how the stuff turned out. I was like, okay, he has a sense of what music is and how he can analyze. He's Stephen A. Stephen A. of music, kind of. You know what I mean? So I respect his analysis on stuff like that. But when it comes down to like the other topics,
he one of them people that's like, you know him for this, so we gonna listen to you for this. But outside of these other topics, we need to do more research.
I'm gonna do that myself. You know what I mean? So I agree. I do agree when it comes down to stuff, especially when he's put in the corner.
He'll find a way out.
He'll find a way out. And that's a quality I have too. I will admit that. If I'm in the corner, I'm gonna find a way out.
No matter the cost.
No matter
the cost.
I'm gonna figure out a way to get out that corner.
We having people argue a whole different point. But you said this though.
That's
I will say that. You'll say, but you said this point, and that's when you fucked up.
Yeah, I'm a counter arguer. I'm only using what you said. Whereas Joe Budden, he's like, I'm gonna use what you said, and then I'm gonna add a little spice to it.
I'm gonna add something that's gonna take us to a different realm right here, and then I'm gonna act like I'm the victim. Like he had to like he shouldn't have brought it up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I'll say this.
I don't know if that man is like a master manipulator or if he just got a sickness because he could have just been defensive, but at the same time, he managed to get Ish riled up as well.
Which made Ish look crazy.
Yeah, because he's like, "Oh, you being emotional."
Because the thing about it is, he know who his audience is. So when he brings up the topic, of, do you care about this female or whatever? Now it's looking, he loving the hoes.
Yeah,
Ish love hoes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He the type of person, you know what I'm saying? If we doing something with this girl over here for
he
gonna put a
ring
on it. Yeah, he being light skinned. He light skinned. The crazy thing, Joe Budden light skinned, which made it crazy. When he said that, I was like, oh, he's funny.
Yeah,
he's trying to he's trying to create a narrative so people will attack him. So then later on, he can see the comment section said you was
wildin'.
Yeah,
but when you go home at night, Joe. Do you
think
it ever? He looks in the mirror and was like, I got away with one?
No.
Or do you think you like, I was right this whole time?
The whole time.
That man is that.
Nah, I will agree to that. I think Joe Budden, like I wouldn't argue. If I argue with him, I have to be like, always revert back to like the subject.
Every time
I tell you who's good at doing that too. When I be watching Gilbert Arenas, what's the dude name? The dude with the crown.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, bro.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. But he does that thing too.
Yeah.
He does the same thing. Well, he'll shoot so much at the wall and get like
just something to stick.
Yeah, or get them to argue about one of the things, not the subject, but whatever he shot the stick, and then he'll make it that, and then try to make them sound crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't. You see, you wrong about this. You got to be wrong about the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying? You said he was a good coach.
He'll just shift. I remember one time he was like, he said something about being the greatest or something, and then like. Gilbert, you know, he stat man. He coming out with stats, this, stat, that, and then he reverted back to, well, if I feel like he the greatest, who are you to tell me? But the argument was, we not telling you who you think you the greatest. We arguing why you said it was greatest. Then he went down why you was wrong, and now you revert back to, well, if I feel like he the greatest, he's the greatest. But that wasn't the discussion.
Then it went to, you know what I'm saying, well, if I feel like I'm a woman, then I can do that right, Gilbert. Yeah, it's like, man, where are we at?
What are we doing?
Where are we at,
What space
bro?
are we in?
Yeah, he's probably the, like, it's a lot of people that as I get older, I can legitimately say, I can't learn nothing from this person.
But what I think is funny, I think if we look in real life, a lot more people do that than people realize. That when people start getting in these debates and stuff, they start to meander so much away from like the original point that they start arguing different things.
No, I think that's just a human thing. What I'm saying is, in any aspect, people do that in regular conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
No, not even argument. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can just talk about anime, right? We just talk about...
we spit off all the time.
You know what I'm saying? And it goes off,
but I'm talking specifically when people are like engaged in like a topic of like, okay, I'm right or I'm right.
Yeah.
People are even quicker to do that.
I agree, but I think it's just a natural thing that people do. So it just because it's heightened, people still revert back to like, because that's how you talk. That's how you communicate. You communicate from subject to subject. So when
that's how you lose hours of your life.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was talking about calories.
It's even noticeable in debates because it's like the point of this debate is a specific point, and then you're like, well, how we get here? That's what is funny to me about stuff like that, because like with Ish and Joe Budden, is like he started with a specific point. This ain't just like a regular conversation. His point was, this is my point. So when people derail like that, it's extra entertaining for me. Well, it's entertaining for me to a certain point. Now that I've seen it so much in like actual debates and like that are supposed to be productive, I'm like, this is annoying. Cause like now we're not even talking about the subject.
That's why I don't like him on the Gilbert but I can't think of his name. But that's one reason I don't like him on there. Yeah. Because Gilbert, he's supposed to bring out the stats. Like, why are we talking about basketball? Like, I get, you know what I'm saying? But eventually stats does play a part in it, no matter what it is. Or Jordan got 6 rings, that's a stat. Yeah. This person made All-Star team, that's a stat. That's like those things
that people always bring up.
Those are accomplishments that a person with those are stats no matter what. But the thing with him is, bruh, I watch how he get Gilbert in the future. Gilbert, he's so quick to fuse like your argument. That whenever he starts a new argument, Gilbert just on top of that argument instead of saying, "Hey, that's not what we're talking about. We talking about this." But he'll this. The stat doesn't say this. That says that. And we was talking about Steph Curry and him being the greatest shooter, and somehow we got on the greatest player of all time. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We weren't talking about that.
Yeah, we weren't even.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think people like him aren't good for progression of like ideas and well, they couldn't be because they may lead you to a different point. But I think the reason why he's on that show is he makes for entertainment. He makes for good entertainment because he brings that kind of stuff out.
I hate it, bro. I hate it because it'd be a good subject, and I'm listening to Gilbert, and Brandon Jennings may have a good point sometimes, and then they may have a guest that may have a good point. I love Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin be on there, and he has a good point a lot of the times, but. When they and sometimes he does have a good point where him and Gilbert go back and forth. I'm like, okay, this is a good subject. Yeah. And then as I'm watching, I have realized that he has got us, including the audience, somewhere where we shouldn't be. I'd be like, whoa, whoa. What was the title of this?
Which is and I don't know if, like I said, I don't know in that moment if he realizes what he's doing.
No, he doesn't, bro. He's just trying to be right.
Oh, he's just
He's just trying to be right.
What is that in us that's like, okay. Because at some point, you have to realize yourself, I failed in this one area to meander to this other point.
I don't think people do that, though.
You don't think so?
Nah, bro.
When they're like, oh, man, he got me on the back foot. I definitely know I'm about to lose this. I need to come stronger, just concede.
I don't think people know that, bro, because you have to concede at some point that the person in front. It's an ego thing, bro. That's why it's easy to divert to those things, because it's an ego thing. Like, you don't want to be wrong, so you just kind of diverting to be right. That's why sometimes, and then he does this thing, also this technique where he's saying, like, say we arguing about this light fixture or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This light is white, and I'll be like, nah, man, it's kind of yellow, and we going back and forth on what. And then somehow we on paint and what. Well, when I go to the shop, so do you paint?
Yeah, do you paint?
Then you go.
This nigga don't even paint.
You know,
this nigga don't even paint.
He's trying to tell me about colors.
But you don't even paint. Okay, buddy. You don't even paint.
And then Gilbert be like, I do paint. I just painted my house yesterday with, you know what I'm saying, blue. You know that. Why would you even? Why don't you just answer the question, do you paint?
But it was like, why you diverting the question, though? Are you a painter? You paint your house, but are you a painter, though? Are you a painter? It just get
it's just like, you like, oh, my God.
Are you a painter, though?
And then as the audience, it was like, damn, but I didn't know Gilbert painted.
How you make green? How you make green, Gilbert? It's like, what? How you make yellow? This nigga don't even know how to make yellow. Gilbert's like, it's a primary color. You don't make yellow.
That's the thing. And then he be looking around like, do y'all not hear him? But because you arguing so much with him, you look like a fool too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of just going back to the subject.
What's that quote where he's like,
when you argue with a fool, people from a distance can't tell the difference.
They can't tell the difference. It's like, you both look stupid.
Yeah,
because you may be right, but you trying to argue with a nigga trying to get you to explain how you make the color yellow. It's like, that's the crazy part. Like when this just speak for itself, like, you don't make that color, bro.
Bro, you just looking at him, bro. He be like, all right, I'm just asking, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to get loud. Then he'll do that. You like,
be in a mood, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You a little triggered.
Yeah.
Triggered.
You're triggered.
I be like, man, you too grown.
You know what I'm saying? Says the man with the crown on his head. Like, what we doing? You already telling me where your ego at.
You done showed me your hand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, out of everybody in that room, why we got crowns?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But that's why I'm at with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to Joe Budden.
And that guy on the Gilbert Arenas show.
Yeah. Whatever his name is.
Yeah. No disrespect, but I just don't know your name.
I can take it or leave it. I do like that show, though. I do like Gil's format, whatever.
Yeah, I do like it. That's why I be getting mad when he be doing that, bro. I'm like, this is very interesting.
I think Gil is like,
yes,
the way Joe Budden is to music, whatever, his little insights or whatever that we want, the angle we want to look at. I think Gilbert in a lot of ways
is kind of like that.
Because he was that guy at that one point.
He was a dog.
He was a dog.
You know,
so if he hadn't gotten that incident.
Well, really, if he didn't get injured.
Well, that too.
Because the injury, even though he got, because especially in the NBA, because he was so good, that would have been slid on the rug. I felt like
Agent Zero was a problem. That man was a problem. So he got some insight. Not only
I was zero when I played basketball because of that.
Because of Gilbert. Oh, that's dope.
Even though D Wade is like my favorite player, but because I think his thing was these teams didn't want me. There was 32 teams that didn't want me, so I wear 0 because nobody wanted me.
That's dope. I ain't know that. That's dope. But I do think he provides like a deeper insight and angles that people ain't really paying attention to.
That's why I like, bro. I'm like, I didn't know them rules was like that. That's why I do not like my man, because Gilbert be like really having facts and then breaking down.
He got like an encyclopedia memory.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
just breaking up random stats.
I'm like, oh, they was doing cocaine like that? Like, I did not know that, Gil.
He was like, this is this era, this is this era, this is what happened then, this is what happened then. Like, you trying to compare this to that. And it's like, well.
Think about if we had these rules today, what would that be?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. This
Gil
talking.
Yeah, he talking
good points.
Stuff,
you know what I'm saying? So, and I like when he be talking to other people. Like I seen him with Paul George. I seen him with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Like when those are productive conversations. That's why I enjoy him talking and doing that stuff, because it's more productive. Whereas on the show, it's very productive in the beginning, but somehow
there's derails.
You'd be like, I'd be sitting there like, yo.
But they all have wild takes every now and then. Gil not so much. Sometimes Gil will jump out there.
Now Gil, I disagree with Gil sometimes.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate his point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, this is how you see this.
But it usually when Gil jump out the window, it's because for whatever reason in that one argument, he's choosing to focus on this thing. But we talking about this over here. So he's guilty of that too sometimes. But shout out to Gilbert Arenas. I want to add, I just want to throw in that I think the Metro Atlanta School District is trash. That post I sent you the other day about them serving cheese sandwich and milk to them kids.
Did I not send you that?
Somebody sent it to somebody.
Because I sent you 2 of them.
Yeah.
Because I think I sent you the other one where the lady, she's going to pay for everything. It's one like she's going to put $50,000.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I think there's this lady in Atlanta, right? There's a lady, she's going to pay, how much was it? I want to say $58,000 for some reason. Even though I think that's wrong. But whatever it was, she's going to pay for a lot of it. Because when she heard about it, she said, well, I'll pay it. And y'all get whatever's left. But yeah, that is trash.
She said she was. Are they allowing her to do that?
I believe so. She said that she was going to do it. That last article I said, it was like a woman said she's going to pay most of the lunch debt.
See, now that's dope. But the fact she has to do that is some trash.
Yeah, it is trash.
Because first of all, cheese sandwiches, not even grilled cheese.
Yeah, that was
cheese sandwiches.
Milk, bro.
And milk. We talking bread, cheese, bread.
I seen it.
Cheese sandwiches.
Well, there's no nutritional value there.
What is that?
Yeah.
What kind of meal is that? And secondly, I still don't understand why in a place where kids are legally required to be, why are we paying for lunch there? I just don't understand that. And it's not even like we have the best gourmet meals or nutritionist meals. They are like
trash meals.
We
had trash.
Square pizza. I mean, as good as they taste at the time, the stuff we was putting in our body.
The smiley faces. We
Come
love
on,
it.
son.
Come on, man. It was
you
trash.
Tear them cheeseburgers up though.
I can't even remember a salad. Or lettuce. I mean, like lettuce on the burger or something.
No, it was just cheese, meat, bun.
Bro, we did not eat.
We did not eat good.
We did not eat.
We did not eat good. I remember. I'm guesstimating, but I think back in the day, didn't like they have like actual people in the back cooking.
Well,
not us. I'm talking about like 60s and 70s. What like cafeterias back there like actually making like a buffet style where like you cook a big thing of green beans and you put some of that on there like.
Oh, well, I don't know. I would love that.
Have to look
and to be honest, bro, I
thought the lunch lady back in the day was actually a lady who cooked. Like back in the 60s and shit, they cooked and like they served food for like kids. But I gotta look into that. I'm not sure. I've mostly seen it on movies and shit.
Let's do a story on that.
Yeah,
that's
right. Like how our school lunches have been great over time because they hire these
companies,
these sourcing our nutrition out to these companies that are like doing the bare minimum to like keep us who are supposed to be being nourished mentally and physically.
I don't understand how you have money to hire people for these book bans, but can't do nothing for these schools. Like, you remember that thing I showed you about my man? He was I think it was in Minnesota or what was it? It may have been in Minnesota where they was having like a council meeting, and dude, they was trying to get free lunch for the kids, and the dude was saying, "Well, what is hunger? I ate a breakfast bar earlier. Am I hungry? Yeah." And I'm looking at that like, dog,
what is hunger?
Cause even the white dude that was beside him, that was with him, that was on the other end, he kind of, when he heard it, he kind of,
he was like, we didn't go over this before we got up here.
My boy, now you just throwing anything at the wall. When really you should just sit down, bro. You ain't got this one. And now you just really made yourself look bad in the sense of like, do you care about the kids? And then a lot of Republicans doing that, bro. Like, I think
they got upset when they passed that bill in Michigan for free lunch up there.
Yeah,
they was upset.
Yeah, bro.
These kids are gonna get. First of all,
that's Republicans too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to,
do
know who you voting on.
Do what that y'all wilt. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's funny to me that they push back to give, like, they so mad that these kids are getting free lunches, and it's not even like they're getting gourmet lunches every day. It's the same overprocessed food that they had been given. It's just now they don't have to pay or go broke trying to pay these.
Come on, man.
These lunch fees, which is ridiculous.
When we get this money, I'm going to my school and I'm gonna pay for everybody. Lunch that.
Start a fund, like we making sure ain't nobody going hungry.
Nobody
going
at
school.
Yeah, at least at school.
And we need to do more to like if you look at our lunches compared to school lunches across the world,
bruh, it's not even. And the thing is, you know what I hate what people do, bro? I hate this thing, especially what we do in America, bro. We always talk about third world countries. Would you rather be over there? Would you rather be in? There's a lot of countries that are not third world that I'd rather be in than this one. Like, if I'm talking about, if I wanted my kid to be here for us, like a place where I don't have to worry about them getting shot in school, a place where I know they learning, they ain't got no book bans, where I know them gonna eat, all that shit. So I don't understand.
The education level is higher. We how far down the list we are in education,
bro? I think we
education higher. Like you said, the quality of food they have is better. They're really showing that they invested in their kids.
Yeah, because if we have songs like the kids are our future, why are we not treating them as if they are our future? That's the thing that
we treat them like they just gonna be another number.
Yeah,
like,
another employee.
Processed food, you just gonna be on the line anyway. You don't really need.
That's what I be trying to tell you, bro. I think they had like this new thing for kids where they're gonna give them a voucher or money like a EBT card or something for kids, like $40 just for the summer, just to help them out during the summer. I think it was just like $40. It wasn't even nothing crazy. Yeah. And then like most Republican states, I think I'm gonna say 30. Between 19 and 30 of those states,
they rejected
it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be looking like what are we doing to help? Like, y'all talking about these migrants that we giving money to. That's a Republican thing that they want to go against. But why are you giving them money? Well, why are you not giving the kids money?
Why? Because a person told me long ago, man, you pay attention to somebody's finances, you show what's important.
You show what's important, bro.
And like people keep showing that these kids are not important.
That's what's that, man. That's on both aisles, bro. Because the Democrats are the ones that's like pushing the put the migrants, give them money. But the Democrats are also saying, hey man, let these kids have free lunch. Yeah. The Republicans are tripping them up, but they're okay with giving tax cuts to these corporations.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, I'm about to do something on displaying that tax law that passed in 2017,
and also letting what was I about to say? Oh, letting the military slide on, like, keeping up with their money. We give them so much money, but they don't know where the money. Oh, what we spend the money? Where's this?
Somebody know where it's going.
Yeah, somebody
know where it's going.
You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, it ain't gonna go into these damn kids, bro. That's what I would think that it should go. We always talk about we're gonna put ourselves in debt. This is a thing where the amount of money that the Pentagon has lost over the last 3 or 4 audits can help with school lunch across the whole country for whatever time that is needed, if not forever.
For real, we talking
especially with the meals that they getting, because the meals that they getting is already cheap. So I don't understand why it ain't free anyway.
Back what you said earlier. Even you could argue third world countries feed their kids better than
because it's fresh.
Because one is fresh, and two, since they don't have these companies that produce all this food, they gotta cook the food. So it's like food you eat at home. When you go to school, you eating the same roti and jollof rice and whatever curry that you eat at home.
I'm in agreement with you.
Our kids ain't eating better than third world countries.
And we talk about these book bans, bro.
Book bans, man.
Come on, man. Y'all ridiculous, bro.
I'd say politicians, specifically Republicans, are great at like diverting where the real issue is.
Back to what we was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Republicans do that. Republicans will give you a whole nother, like, they'll divert. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they stealing our jobs. It's the immigrants. They stealing our grass. But they'd be the main ones giving tax cuts to companies for putting their companies in China or India or somewhere else where it's cheap labor.
While letting those same companies hire those migrants. It's like,
but they'll divert your attention to the border. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The border's the problem. It's not. It's not that we are doing espionage in the country they're coming from and messing them up. Yeah. That's bringing them over here in the first place. It's also that they also letting these jobs be taken by, people, these migrants. Yeah. So it's like,
oh yeah, you talking about that just over here. Yeah, they also hiring them.
So and they overseas too. They letting these companies do whatever they want to do. But it's always somebody else's fault. Other than the legislation that's being passed that's allowing them to do that.
The reason why these kids are shooting at the schools are the books. Bro, you think these kids reading? Bro, that's crazy, bro. That's a crazy concept.
These kids reading and not just watching all these TikToks telling them how messed up things are and they need to go in there and fix it by shooting people?
Come on, man. Y'all wild for that. And it's just like they divert things. So it's not the gun laws that we need. It's God and prayer and stuff that we need. It's the books that they read. It's the games that they playing. It's the music that they listen to.
Even the Bible got laws, bro. Like laws ain't bad. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
It be real. I ain't seen trying to put nothing in like anybody's religion. But if I had to bet whether or not God would be for or against the gun law at this point,
that's a crazy concept, bro.
I'd probably say he'd be like,
that's a crazy way of looking at it, too.
You know what I'm saying? He'd probably be like, add it on to that's the 11th commandment.
Yeah.
Just add it on to the top 10, because apparently they don't get it.
They don't get it, bro. So, man, Republicans have a bad way of trying to divert their base, and they base a lot of the extreme base. Their extreme base are dumb enough to go with that. That's why you see a lot of them going towards the border, like in the last week, going down there, looking at the border and all the stuff that the news done portrayed. And it's CNN, all them portrayed, all this, the razor wire and stuff. And now they went down there and it's like, well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because you've been fooled. And that's exactly why y'all think kids getting free lunch is a bad thing, because your party has convinced you that it's communism. It's like, that's your party.
That's the insane. This is communism.
Who told you that?
Us, being, us fitting the bill, basically, paying for it because my mind just fuddled out for a second. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second. It's crazy they yell communism and like, oh, this is socialism, when it's like all we're doing is paying, like investing in our kids. That's all we're doing. We want them to be better, so we're using some of the money that we give to the government go right back to our kids. Is that not the perfect reason to do something? Because everything is the kids.
But when it comes down to therapy for the kids, you ain't got that. When it comes down to adoption facilities and them having enough money to operate properly, you ain't got it. When it comes down to school safety or kid safety, you ain't got it. When it comes down to foster care and those type of things, you ain't got it.
We ain't got
free lunch, you ain't got it.
We ain't got it. That's the free lunch should be the easiest one.
That should be the go-to. But if you want your party to vote for you, just if you asking me if I'm a rural southern person. Like I believe in the
by the
Republican
way,
Party,
the majority of welfare.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Oh, which is crazy. Is that not communist? If you think free lunch is communist, do you not think
people that's like, we don't want your handouts when them laws get passed and your welfare dry up? They be like, well, I didn't mean us.
And the crazy thing about that welfare, a lot of private schools are the main ones that use welfare, the funding for welfare, which is, again, the rich, the Republican Party, or the party that, you know what I'm saying, or conservative party, that's doing that type of stuff. So I don't understand these ideas that people have. And I think it just comes down to lack of education sometimes on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, bro, you got to know, like that having kids have free lunches would be good for you. Right? It's not like, well, you don't have to pay for lunch. And if you know your child is being fed, like, I know my wife was telling me, man, she said, man, having free lunch really helped her out because she didn't really have meals going home. Mm-hmm. So she would stay at school. Being at school and having lunch, having, eating breakfast and lunch really helped her because she wasn't really eating at home. Mm-hmm. You think she the only kid? Like, I think 1 out of 5 kids suffer from, like, starvation.
Mm-hmm. In the U.S. Here. Not third world. Here. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, Atlanta Metro School District. That's trash, but it's not just a single them out. The whole system we have behind our kids in this country is honestly disgusting. Mm-hmm. Like we could do a lot better than that. Mm-hmm. But speaking of Republicans, we called some backlash over our opinions against Charlie Kirk, more specifically that video I dropped where he was talking about the black pilots and the DEI stuff. Mm-hmm. And so check that video out if you haven't seen it, the little short clip, and the reaction we did to it. But I think it's funny that, like, people weren't really coming back at me with facts or anything like that, which is typical, but it's they insulted me versus coming back with facts what I said, which I think is also telling. It's like, this guy's an idiot, or he doesn't know what he's talking about, or just stuff along that line.
That's the point of the show. You know what I'm saying? To help you ignorant people realize what you don't know. But you got to be willing to receive it. Yeah. But also, I think with that video, it would help them or kept them from commenting on yours. If you just showed them the definition of it. We assume that the people that was going to watch was going to either look it up and see what it was, or already know, or they was going to do what they did. I'll be honest. We knew that was coming.
Yeah, they was gonna do it. They was gonna do what they did. You know what I'm saying? Because if they wanted to know, they would have known before they watched that video.
But I think I see what they need, bro. They kids, so they need visual things. They need things like, so if you to say, oh, this is the definition, this is what companies are doing. Yeah. It eliminates the idea of like, well, they just hiring black people because they need a quota. You think they hiring just a black person off the street to come in to fly this plane?
Fly a fucking plane.
Because what you said, not to cut you off real quick, I'm gonna let you, because what you said is, and what you thought would be the if they made it that far in the video, you think they would mess up their stock.
Yeah.
To hire somebody that was crazy. You see what Bowen going through?
Which is, part of the reason, because part of the reason I want to bring up, not only because Candace, backed my boy up and went a step further by, bringing up how women are emotional and pointing out that, you saw that, right?
I saw her talk about, like, if I see a woman on a plane or flying something.
Yeah, it was this woman on Twitter that, started defending herself because she's a pilot, and she was like, I'm qualified. I think this, basically she was saying, I think this is diversion. Like, the writers using it as a diversion tactic to, get away from real issues. Mm-hmm. And she had several posts about it, and then Candace Owens was like, well, this is an example of how women are emotional, and how maybe they shouldn't be hiring pilots. And if I see a woman pilot, then I'll probably be nervous, which I think is funny because that kind of shoots herself in the foot when it comes. If you down on yourself because a woman is like,
well, you a woman.
Well, you a woman. Like,
so if that applies to
her, this pilot,
why don't it apply to you giving your opinion?
Yeah, like how we know this ain't an emotional opinion right here. Which I think is funny. I also think it's funny because it kind of proves people's point when they say if a man do it is he's being assertive, but if a woman do it, she's being emotional. Because we also look at Trump going these rants all the time, and I don't see her on there like, oh, he's being emotional. He needs to calm down. Oh no, he's just giving the real truth.
You said something to me when I talked to you about the video I was about to do, and it's obvious and you said, man, apply the same standard. That's it. That's what you said. I was like, oh, that's good. That's all I needed. I know how to finish the video.
Yeah. If this is your standard here, then it's got to be your standard over here.
Yeah.
And the point is, if your standard with this like Trump, but your standard is here with this woman, it's like you're proving what people are saying when like, oh, you being sexist or you're being racist because you only applying a higher standard
to this woman
or this person of color.
Just like there was a man who stole the pilot jet and then stole the jet, flew it around, and then crashed it, killed himself. That was emotional. You wouldn't count that. That was a man. I don't hear nothing about a woman doing that. Or what about the man who had actual passengers and ran into a mountain?
Is that emotional?
That's emotional.
Was he white?
I think he was like Asian.
Asian?
Yeah, Asian man.
Secret Asians, man.
So I'll just be like, bro, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think, having, like, you think they just, like, these people do not have a pilot license? Yeah. Like, what, like, that's the concept I'll be, like, looking at. Like, what do you think?
Why do you think these people are just being allowed to be pilots? Like I said before, do you think that these businesses are going to jeopardize their business?
I don't think they know what it means.
I tell you what.
I don't think they know what it means, D.
What?
I don't think they understand what a diversity hire is, or the concept of like making sure that, hey, we are not more focused on making a diversity or we're gonna make sure we hire people that not hire people or do.
I tell you what they mean, because people like Candace Owens keep telling them what it should mean. Like in the video I'm referencing when she was talking about the lady and her being emotional because, she's an emotional pilot. Maybe she shouldn't be a pilot. She started off with, this is what happens. Like, I would be nervous too because we have the CEO saying that he wants 50% of the force in the United Airlines to be women or people of color, and he doesn't care whether or not these people qualify. That was her opening statement, which is factually incorrect, because that's not what he said. First of all, in the video they keep referencing, he said, we require that our future, like 50% of our future class that are coming in be women and people of color. That's like people training to be pilots. That don't even mean that you're going to graduate. That don't mean you're going to be a pilot. He said, we just want our 50% of our future class to be women or people of color. So he's not even guaranteeing people a job, for one. And for two, like I keep saying, the only people that keep suggesting that people that they hire are not qualified are people like Candace Owens, people like Charlie Kirk, and people who agree with them people. Because like I said, no company is out here saying we're willing to jeopardize our business behind hiring unqualified people. And the racist shit that people keep missing is that this conversation of qualification only comes up when it comes to people of color. Like I said before, if you got 100 jobs, it'll be 10 people of color or women with jobs, and 20 white people that didn't get a job pointing at the 10 people of color or the women talking about
the 10 people out of the 100.
10 people out of the 100.
So that sounds like even with that, like these people. That's what I'm saying, bro. People are dumb. Y'all are dumb. Because it's like
the other 90% white force. You assume because they are white that they are automatically qualified to be there. That's the
ultimate squeeze. Because at the top, the 90%, the people that got in, they saying, well, y'all was a diversity hire. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all only here because y'all black. Or a woman or whatever the case may be. And then the people that didn't get in are saying, you know what I'm saying, y'all took my job. Didn't say the other 90 people took your job.
Yeah. Even though, like I said before,
so what are you saying?
People typically get hired because they know somebody, they got referred to somebody, they know somebody, or they hire somebody that they can relate to or that look like. We work at, the way it is in the U.S., you can argue why, but predominantly white businesses.
And again, I seen this at my job. And then like my homeboy, he's an engineer and he deals with it at his job. These are people, you know what I'm saying? So this is at my job where there was females that was way more qualified than a guy at my job. And he wasn't even qualified to be promoted. Because he didn't do enough time in his other management role. They hired him, and I told you the study that says that white people are hired based upon potential, whereas black people are hired based upon what have you done. right? They hired him because we just want somebody young and fresh with some new ideas or something. He wasn't even qualified to have the position yet, but he
still got the job.
Got it. White man, and then the two people that was a older female and there was a black female that was way more qualified than him.
Yeah,
and I know them because one in particular, I knew that person for like 5 years, and she held it down at every position that she had. So
qualified.
And
here's the thing, though. Even if going to what you were saying, if a company sees potential in a person of color, and let's say they don't have they mostly there, but they lack this or that. If they see potential in that person, they'll point out, hey, he's not all the way qualified. But the same example you just gave, what's wrong with giving somebody a opportunity that you see potential to, even though they might not have all the qualifications?
It's a bias, man. It's an internal bias.
Because that happens all the time on the other side where somebody might not have all the qualifications, even if that is the case, but it's not. I'm just saying, even if that was the case, what's wrong with giving people opportunity and working their way towards their full potential?
You asked me what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Oh, you asked me what they think is wrong with it.
What they think. Either one. Wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I'm saying
either way, it's asinine, 10, 11. It's it's ridiculous. And the other racist part about it is, going back to what I was saying, this conversation qualification only comes up when there's people of color and introducing themselves. But the same people like Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, they don't really care about meritocracy because they don't attack when universities are just letting students in because their parents went there. Or their parents
that's a good
rich.
point. Like, why don't you bring up that point?
You don't bring that up because you don't really care about people getting in places because of the merit. You care who's getting in.
You care about the race, bro. That's a good point, bro.
And furthermore, on my little rant, like I said, in that same instance, they got rid of diversity and affirmative action in schools. They kept it in the military. So on one hand, we're not good enough or qualified enough to be lawyers, doctors, engineers, pilots, but it's okay if you consider diversity when we put our bodies on the line for the country. Because what we're really talking about is higher skill jobs. Because ain't nobody care about your job at the Coca-Cola factory when you putting stamps on the can. Don't nobody care about it. Those jobs are first come, first serve. What we talking about here are skilled jobs. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to those jobs, it's always people of color that's like, oh, we should doubt whether or not they qualify. Even though with or without affirmative action DEI, they still have those same doubts. Because it's not like before affirmative action DEI, they was like, oh, we got a black pilot, he must be qualified. Their attitude was, we don't want this nigga flying this plane. and those are facts. But when it comes to the military, it's okay if we have a diverse base.
Because you can die.
Because we can die and we don't care about that.
That's why.
Unless they trying to be like officers or something, then all of a sudden, are they qualified? But you don't care because the dude on the last video was like, they letting women in and they don't have to do the same amount of push-ups and all that blase stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but the military is showing they're okay if you're not physically equipped to do everything, which I have reservations about for different reasons. I think that people, I don't need to do 25 push-ups to be a dope-ass sniper. You know what I'm saying? Or pilot a drone. So I already think the qualifications, whatever. But if your argument was they're letting women in when they don't meet the physical requirements, you should take it up with your government who cares about diversity hire or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't show that same attitude when it comes to military, when it comes to higher education.
That's not what they flash in front of you, though, dude. They know that the military is already weak. And they need as many people as they can, especially nowadays. One of the main things that I listened to this military general or ex-military general. He had a TED talk. He was saying the biggest threat is obesity. They can't get people in. Yeah. So because we can't get people in, we're gonna get everybody in. It don't matter if you can do half the job or not. Instead of putting more focus on that and making people make sure they get the qualifications of the people that you need in the military, we're gonna lower the bar a little bit because now we got too many fat people. Yeah. So it's like if you again to go back to what you said, if you feel like
the best people should be
in the best positions, I agree. Like, why are you not saying anything about our military that we have that all the things that we continue to talk about gets the most money from our tax? Well, we spend the most money on taxes.
The military get the most money We want only the qualified people in there.
We're gonna pay for it.
You know what I'm saying? But if you but that's the thing though. It's not even whether or not you agree diversity is good for the military. It's the fact that the same people who told you can't, it's not good to consider diversity in higher education and skilled positions is telling you that it's okay in the military. Mm-hmm. That's the part you need to be connecting. Why is it okay over here, but it's not okay over here?
Well, more so, why are you not putting a light on that? Why are you not putting a light on that? It's not even like saying it's okay. Like, why is nobody putting a light on that? Why is it? Because like a skill job, you still need to have a skill of some sort. Mm-hmm. And again, even what you're saying, that man did not say we was going to hire them. We are focused on that, which is the whole point of having affirmative action. Like, we are focused on it, not
we're making it intentional because we know that when it's left up the country, left up to companies, historically, if you don't intentionally focus on that, then companies become more white and more male.
Because like even at my job, bro, like I run a specific department, and I had to get on one of my managers about, hey man, don't hold me to a standard that you're not holding everybody else to. And don't do that. Don't do that to me, man. Like I look out for you. I do this and that. And then I ask him, like, why do you do that? Why do you ask things of me that you have yet? You know, I done passed all my audits. I done everything. I done more stuff than you. I done stuff back here that you didn't even know how to do. Yeah. With the little bit that you gave me. Mm-hmm. But these other departments been failing you. You're about to get fired because of those departments. And you come at me, asking me to do extra stuff. And when I tell you no, you look at me sideways. Meanwhile, they the ones messing up. I said, don't hold me to that standard no more, man. We have to go to HR. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not go, like, why are these people getting passes where I don't? Man. You know what I'm saying? And him been cool since. And he did it to the other one of the other supervisors. Cause he had a conversation with him too. He was like, man, you gotta stop that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, they see you. And they gonna get you if you don't relax, boy. Yeah. But it's also a thing that I don't even think he realized that's what he's doing. He see a certain type of person, whether it be female or male, that's in the area that he gives them a pass based upon whatever bias that he have in his head. Whereas like he may see me, was like, well, I got to make sure he does it or he won't do it. Yeah. Now I said, I don't know what goes through his head. That's why I didn't even try to ask him what it is. Well, I did ask him, but he couldn't tell me, so I didn't push the issue. I just told him to stop. Yeah. Don't do that.
I don't care what it is.
I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Do it to me.
I told him, man,
don't do it to anybody else.
We ain't gonna keep having this problem. Yeah. We've been cool since. But they do that.
And the thing, if I'm being, this is most grace.
And then, like I told you, Theo, he did the same thing as an engineer.
The engineer at his job. He black, by the way. Black engineer. And what'd you say? He ended up fixing they problems?
Listen, the people at his job, the thing about his job is he's overqualified. And they make him do extra stuff to prove that. Whereas the other people that was on the same level as him, they come to him to fix problems they messed up. Yeah. Instead of them being reprimanded. And he told me, he was like, man, sometimes I have to stay and fix things that they messed up. And if I don't, they try to make it seem like I'm the reason. Like I don't want to go get in trouble.
I mean, here's what I wanted to say. If you're black, or if you're in communion with black people, or actually in communion, you probably heard the saying, black people have to do twice as much to get half as far. And that's poignant because a lot of these times when we in these situations, we become representative for the entire race. Like if you mess up, then that messes the opportunity up. Whether people agree with that or not, that's what happens. Because you know what happened the last time you hired a black guy or a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's X, Y, and Z happened. So a lot of times when you see those black people that are engineers or those black people that are doctors or people of color that are in these higher skill positions, they some of the most qualified people you'll ever meet. Not only because they pass whatever they need to pass to be there, but because they have the extra weight of, if I mess up, that's going to mess somebody else up.
And again, statistically speaking, the reason why they hire those people in a position is because of what they have done. Yeah. Not their potential. Yeah.
Which is a lot of times the reverse of the opposite side. And I think, and as a gracious, this is gracious I'll be. Like I get, like if I saw a white man bring oxtail and rice to a cookout, I'll be like,
he's in question.
I'll need to taste the oxtail and rice before, I believe that he can cook oxtail and rice. But on that same token, if I go into if I go into a Jamaican spot and I see a white man behind the kitchen, my first thought is, oh, he must can throw down. Because I know them Jamaicans would not tolerate this nigga behind that counter if he couldn't cook. The same way if I get on a flight and I see a woman or I see a black man as a pilot, my first thought is, oh, we buy, they qualified to be here. Because they are in a setting that says, hey, you qualified to be here.
Because the company would not allow them to be there. But that's common sense thinking. And what you hoping for, or what you think you hoping for, is for other people to have that same common sense, but people don't. Just like it goes on and on. Like when we do these videos or certain videos, they always like one of the videos we did where we talked about like how people died at January 6th, and then people brought up Black Lives Matter people dying, and like 25 people was killed at Black Lives Matter, but like they didn't look on who those people were
or how they occurred.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was a white supremacist that died for pulling out a gun on a reporter, or this person died from trying to rob a store, and this person was part of a white supremacist group, or this person died when he had a baby in his hand from a shop owner who just shot a shot. Yeah, the people died, but not in the way that you think they died in the same way. Same thing with diversity hires or the same way they look at. They don't really look into it. They let somebody else tell them what it is, or they read a headline and not read the article, and they're like, "Oh, okay, these people hiring people just because they're black,
right?"
Which is racist. No, they put more focus and attention on making sure they don't overlook people who are qualified because they are black.
Yeah, and that could be just creating more awareness to like people of color to know there's an opportunity out there. Like if I have a business, let's say I have a local shop. What's a really white area? Like Calabasas or something, I guess. I ain't been there, but the way people talk is hella white. I got a coffee shop and I'm looking for help, and my business customers are all white, and I'm just posting help wanted signs around that area. And like you don't get many people of color like in that area to see those flyers. You'll get people applying for that job, but it probably just be, other white people in that area that's applying for that job. So in order to combat that, if you want to create a wider net to be more intentional, you might have to post some flyers in Oakland or something like that. You have to go, you have to think intentionally of ways to get other people in the door.
But I also would say this too, man. There's also a thing that I also stand up and go where you're celebrated, not tolerated.
Yeah.
Right. And I do agree with that notion. But if we was able to be somewhere in our own space without being harassed or like have, certain policies go against where we at, then I think that we are able to build upon it as a people, just saying as black people. And I know that one guy that was in the comments said, why do we need them to take? Because the fact of the matter is when we do stuff on the times that we did have stuff on our own, they took that away from us. They forced us to integrate to make sure that we was under their thumb, under their policy. Yeah. So if we're going to be within this country, then we need to have equal share in it and equal opportunity in that. Because when we do divert and try to have our own, a lot of times it doesn't work out because of they'll try to attack that in some manner or so.
Yeah. A question I like to pose to people, and a subject I'm gonna dive more into in like a video I want to make, is how do you make up for something without showing preference to a certain group?
That's a good question. Because if I directly attacked you and your family, right? If I directly attacked your family, well, I made it so you couldn't work here, or I made it hard for you to be hired, or if I made it specifically hard for people with your last name to survive.
Yeah.
How do I then repay you? Not even repay you, integrate you back in to a society to accept you after I already made it like a thing to make you look and your family look bad without making it specifically for you.
Yeah. How do you repair damage?
That's
what people ain't. Like, it's not enough to be like, oh, we all equal. How do you repair the damage that you've done to a specific group of people without giving them preferential treatment?
In my opinion, man, it should be like free school. And in my opinion, I think every American should have that.
Yeah.
But if you are looking to help a specific group of people, For me, it would be
But people are like, oh, that's racist. You only want to help them. How do you do that without targeting those people?
You don't. There's no way you do that.
They could be, but they don't want it to be that.
What I'm saying is there's no way that you punish a group of people and then you help them a group of people without it being specific, because your attack was specific.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you not do that where everybody can get bit. I think Obama did like kind of the best way, where he gave like everybody like health care, even though a lot of people don't like it, but a lot of black people didn't have health care.
Now have health
Now have health care. That's the one of the closest ways I've seen it.
Beside my point, I think a good way to, help people is passing policies like that. Like if you're gonna help a lot of people, just, make sure it'll help a lot of black people, like getting health care or like with education and stuff like that. I think that's a good way to slide in the door. But also I just don't like that people like fighting so hard against the idea of helping black people directly. Like it's like such a taboo thing to say that no, those people we should rectify what we did to them. Let's invest in those people. And that's why I don't understand why.
That's why they don't look at it as. That's a good. They don't look at it as an investment.
If we're Americans, we should be looked at as an investment as well. And it bothers me because when companies are like basically saying we want to invest in these communities, we want to bring them in the door, people are like, nah, we don't like that. It's like, what's wrong with being like, nah, we want to get these communities involved?
Man, they're the same people that's like when we were trying to get rid of coal and they was like, hey man, we'll give y'all free schooling to learn how to work on like windmills or like solar panels. We're gonna switch your job. Not only gonna be healthier, you're gonna be more educated, and you'll get this free schooling to help your community and put money back into the community. We don't want to do that. That's communism. Those are the people you fighting against. Those are the people you trying to get to understand what certain things are. Like that's a good point. You're looking at it as an investment, and that's why I think everybody should look at it as an investment, because like we love stocks, we invest in stuff, so we look at certain things, 10Ks, 10Qs, what a company doing, how a company doing. So if you look at America and how it invests and how bad it is with money, you will see how bad it is. Just like we was just talking about with the kids, bro. If you see the food that they give your kids, that's an investment.
That's an investment.
That's an investment, dog. So they're not investing well in your kids.
You see how much they put in your kids. It's like we showing what we value.
Yeah.
And another thing, before I forget, going back to the DI situation with Charlie Kirk, because they was talking about pilots and how some people like don't want to work with certain airlines because they have DEI programs. That's another instance of what you should be paying attention to versus what they feeding you. Because the real issue behind airlines and whatnot is the same issue with America in general is corruption, capitalism, and profit motives. Because what they've been doing is sneaking these planes with these that aren't passing specs over and over again. They have failed sensors, doors coming off. They keep trying to make these planes cheaper and cheaper, and they in bed with like Boeing and all them are in bed with the government and passing these planes that are not up to regulation. That's what you need to be paying attention to.
Which is why I don't invest in Boeing unless something bad happens. Yeah. That's when I know, let me go ahead and put
that's the real issue you need to be worried about, because if there's any aircraft that I want them not to spare a dime on, it's me when I'm flying in the air.
But
you're not gonna hear Charlie Kirk and Candace going off on that. No, you're just gonna hear DEI.
Because that's not what they base want to hear.
Yeah.
We try to feed y'all what we think y'all should know. You know what I'm saying? We try to at least feed y'all vegetables in the summer, and we're gonna do better, and we're gonna learn how to cook better for y'all. But you know what I'm saying? But for right now, this is what you get. But he's right, bro. That's some stuff you need to pay attention to. But like, I think Truman, the president, Harriet Truman, not Harriet Truman, I'm sorry. Was it Harriet Truman? The president? What was the president?
Just say what he did. We'll figure that out later.
Nigga he said, if you can't convince them, confuse them.
That might have been him. Was that Churchill?
No, I think it was Truman.
Truman?
Yeah.
But yeah. They've been
confusing y'all asses since.
They've been
And that's really, and let me tell you something, man. If you look at what the real problems are, bro, I promise you, and if you don't want to do it just to be more, just to be more intelligent, to be smarter and be able to move through your reality better, do it for money. I know that helped us.
Yeah.
Once we start realizing what the real problem was and start looking at like how like, especially in stocks, bro. Once you see how they move, do it for the money.
Do it for the money.
Do it for the money, bro.
You'll learn a whole lot because the real problem is the same problem on left and the right is money and politics, corruption. Time and time again, these bills keep passing that takes your real the rights you need.
Again, not even paying attention to, man,
and giving them to companies. Like I said before, they gave companies the right to vote in elections the same way they would people.
And that's wild, bro.
Like, come on.
I'm trying to figure out what's the way that they vote.
Like, come on, son.
Is it one? Is it more than one? Like, what is the weight of a company's vote? That's scary because if we living in a if capitalism,
it's like stocks and
you and your ass in trouble. Yeah,
it's a problem. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? So
like, it's a real problem.
Because corporations that really benefit Republicans, whereas the people who was more liberal, there's more liberal people than conservative. That's why they have to do like I don't know why I keep forgetting stuff today. That's why they got to do this damn point system or each state instead of just doing by each
electoral
vote.
College.
Thank you. That's why they have to do that.
Because popular vote.
That goes to Democrats every time. I can't remember the last time a Republican won a popular vote. I mean, they may win this year because they're going.
Only last time that happened, I think, was George Bush, and that was a dispute. And what's crazy, if anybody had the right to say the election was stolen, it was Al Gore.
Al Gore
and he said, you know what, let's let them have it.
Al Gore can
Because that's how you handle something, you know what I mean? You don't start a whole coup against the government.
And he had less reason to think that, bro. He was
had
not
far less reason.
He was not good, bro. I don't care what y'all say. I am not a Trump fan, not based upon the what people say he's racist or like, you know, he's a bigot or he's just not an intelligent man. When it comes down to like just running the country, he's just not it. He's just that is.
He's a big ball of nothing. Like if you actually go back and look at his speech, all that stuff, what is he actually saying? That's of substance.
Like if I'm sitting there just listening, and then I'm watching the policies that he done, then I'm looking at like how the economy ran. Now some things I give him a pass on, like COVID, but then even when I give him a pass on COVID, there's things in that where I'm looking like you could have just not said nothing.
You also could have been quiet.
Right, you could have just not said nothing.
But you see a man just talking out his ass.
Just ranting and just saying stuff, bro. Bleach. We put it in jets. Okay.
All right. Yeah. You got anything else on the Charlie Kirk?
Nah, man.
Keep right along with Republicans. This holy war they're threatening to wage against Taylor Swift if she don't mind her business or like.
And then trying to use Kid Rock to combat Taylor Swift. Like, bro, y'all are out of touch if you think Kid Rock is gonna do anything with Taylor Swift, bro.
What's funny is like the unholy war you threaten to go against Taylor Swift, but then like you prop up somebody like Kid Rock. Like, do they know who Kid Rock is? Do they know the type of lifestyle he promote? They
just like the fact that he shoot cans because they had a trans woman on the Bud Light and he got the shoot cans.
They had a case made for her made. Wasn't even in stores.
Again, another case of y'all not really paying attention or looking deeper.
Wasn't even in stores. They just sent her a cans with her face on it and they lost their mind. Which is crazy.
The numbers went down. Them numbers went back up.
It's like, oh no, I'm just trying to. I think it's funny. What's his name? Colin Cowherd, the dude who got a show, the white guy, something like that. Colin Cowherd, and people like he did a breakdown. He was like, if you want to see a person's real character, just pay attention to the silly things they make a big deal out of.
Yeah.
And then he went through the Taylor Swift thing. He was like, we just want to see football. We just want to see football. We don't want to hear about Taylor
You talking
Swift.
about Taj?
No, I'm talking about Colin Cowherd or whatever his name is. I can't think of his last name.
Okay. Because I think Daniel Tosh said the same thing.
He might have. But he was like, he broke it down. He was like, you don't care about just seeing football because football thing is 3.5 hours.
You talking them Super Bowl production? Yeah, I know you talking about that. You
3.5 hours. He's like a regular game, 3.5 hours. There's a lot of things other than football. It's only 18 minutes of actually football that you see. And he's like, guess how much Taylor Swift you actually see out of 3.5 hours? On an average, 25 seconds.
Yeah, because he was like, because he also, I know you're talking about that, but man, he was talking about he be with Nick Wright. He was talking about like how the Super Bowl ads they will be running, and then these are the numbers that this is how many people view these ads. So if you only care about that, why are you not complaining about this stuff?
This stuff and this stuff. But you making a big deal out of 3.5 hours. This 25 seconds is what you making a big deal out of.
Because the media told you to. That's as simple as get it, bro. That's just simple manipulation that y'all are a part of. And I mean, y'all, the people in the comment section that always have a problem with us and what we saying, bro. It's just a lot of stuff that y'all say come from like Fox News or CNN. That's what it sounds like. It just sounds like stuff that y'all been fed and y'all believe because y'all don't know how to do a deeper dive into or the research or to just self-reflect. Like, how much did you see of Taylor Swift? They showed more replays, just more replays, not the game, just more replays in the game than of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You seen more of the coaches than you did of Taylor Swift.
But that 25 seconds got y'all in the tizzy. Got y'all in the tailspin.
Like,
but then when you put it to him like that, it was like, I could have swore.
No, you didn't.
You didn't know. You did. Somebody told you seeing
Mandela
Taylor Swift
effect.
every game was a problem. And then you believed it was a problem. So now every time you see Taylor Swift,
it's a problem.
You get annoyed. And now they're scared to death because Taylor doing stuff like dropping links to vote. Not partisan, by the way. She said vote. She said register to vote here. Just drop the link.
Didn't say for who, nothing.
Scared to death of that woman.
But because what happened is she told women to vote, and y'all know women mad at y'all. That's what the Republican Party know. Women are mad at y'all.
You know you ain't got pulled like that. Taylor Swift got pulled.
Pulled, boy.
As much as you think, bashing her gonna do, when them a lot of them conservative girls are in love with Taylor Swift, I might lose somebody if y'all go to that war. That's not a war.
Yeah, I don't think y'all should go there, bro.
If it's the Swifties versus that side of the GOP, I'm taking the Swifties every time.
Oh, you've seen it up close and personal how they get down.
I take it, yeah. It ain't a joke.
They love that girl.
You talking about, my man talking about don't idolize people?
Yeah, they idolize that one.
Yeah. Don't. I wouldn't advise. That's not a good career move. I'll
say this much too, boy.
They had put Taylor Swift in the White House before they put Trump back in the White House. You messing with them Swifties.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. They ain't on, but don't let Beyonce say nothing. It's over with.
It's a wrap.
If Taylor Swift,
them Swiftie and the Beehive combined, boy, that's a real. Now
that's
people
a real
talk
problem.
About threats and like, but when we talk about foreign powers, because them women, they got fans across the globe that are ride or die for them. So you talking about, we don't want China getting too big. The foreign powers that already got too big are already here. The Swiftie army and the Beehive, they have already here. Them the secret sales you need to be worried about.
They are willing to they are armed and ready at any time. I think I seen a woman punch a man one time at a Beyonce concert.
Yeah.
It was like a moment of silence or something, and he messed around the screen. He was like, "Oh, pap."
Like, I don't know what you did.
And then it was like an out of body thing too. And then everybody looked like, "Yeah, we wish you would."
Yeah. You disrespected the queen, man.
That's crazy. Now I will agree that to idolize something or someone that much is unhealthy. It's not to
the point where they beyond reproach. Like
it's like I don't think
any type of criticism is like taken as a slight.
But I also will say that if y'all are mad about how people idolize her, y'all should be mad about how people idolize Trump. Right. Again, apply the same standard. The same standard here would be, you know what I'm saying, they had a whole golden shrine of this man. And there was literally like a man on his knees praying. Now, I don't know if he was playing. I don't know if he was like, just making a joke out of it.
They erected that, and the biblical implications of that. It's already too far.
Yeah, it's already too far. You already done too much, bro. So if I'm and if I think in one of the scriptures about idolizing people and making statues, God said He's a jealous God. So even if it's just playing, you shouldn't be playing like that. If you believe in something like that, and if that is the standard, but you still made a statue, which, and by the way, came from China, which is weird. They try to say it was made in Mexico, but it was really made in China. But that's the Golden Shrine.
Either way.
Because if I remember correctly, Moses came down and broke the stones over a golden calf. And making them drink that gold, put that water in it. That was kind of wild. But even if you don't want to go with the Golden Shrine, you can go with January 6th. You can go with that. You can look up Trump interviews, or
you can go to these rallies, man.
You go to the rallies, go to these shirts. You want to talk about desecrating the flag? You want to look at that? They put him all over the flag. That's desecrating. If you want to look at them putting him with Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Or he's the next Messiah. Like, if you want to do these things as far as someone, a group of people idolizing somebody, you should really look at Trump. Because I don't see nobody doing Biden like that.
No. You won't. You will not.
Tell me a Democratic like president or figure that was on that type of time.
Because even when you see people and we're in debates with people all online, and people are staunchly defending Trump to the death, even though he'll say something directly that opposes what he just said, people,
that's a lie.
He didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. Even when you debate people on Biden, we'll concede, he ain't the greatest. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got issues with this, and that. People that love Trump will defend everything he does.
Without having done, like, what has he done for you? That'd be my main. So what policy?
He's made America safer. He's done this, but policy-wise, is that true?
Yeah.
Has he done that?
What you mean? What did he do? And what
policy-wise, he passed that tax bill that where you paying more tax than you did 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening. What's your tax fund looking like? Mine, I'm getting $2 back.
At least Biden getting rid of these student loans.
Like, come on. I'm still waiting on mine, but
you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people out there that got their student loans.
But they put yours on hold.
They put mine on hold.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let my boy stack up a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
So, but I ain't got too much to say about that. I just think apply the same standard that you do on her to your people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I would.
You know what I'm saying? If you can, I respect somebody that's consistent and wrong more than I respect somebody that's just wrong and not consistent.
Yeah, I don't like people having a bias.
Yeah.
I don't like people having an obvious bias. Like, I get that you have a bias on some things, and that's just how you are.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I understand it's natural, bro. But for you not to recognize it or to point it out or to apply the same standard, I get that you make arguments that's like you may have a bias against LeBron or Jordan or whatever the case is, but when somebody give you a statistic, like, for you to refute it,
yeah, that's
like this happened.
Mm-hmm. You've gone too far.
You're going too far. I get that you trying to say this is better than this.
I got more points in less time than he did.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
That's just what it is. I don't need all this other extra stuff.
So that's my biggest thing, bro. Let's not try to ignore the things that this man had done and said, bro. That man got a sexual case that he just lost. 83 million.
Yeah.
On top of the 10 million that he already owed.
On top of all these indictments and stuff he got.
91, if I'm not mistaken. So
ridiculous.
So in my opinion, man, so that's crazy. But I ain't got too much more to say on that, man. I just think it's ridiculous, and y'all ridiculous if y'all rock with that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
Nah. That Taylor Swift thing.
Well, that's another episode of the pod. Appreciate you joining us, and especially if you made it this far in the podcast. Whether you skipped around or not, man, you gave us a view, so we appreciate it.
Do appreciate that, man. I'm TK, man, and I'm tired of y'all.
I will say, man, the more you see like where the real issues are and where people's attention is, it can be draining. Because at a certain point, especially the older you get, I only got so much energy. Like, I can't. It's easy to just let people believe what they believe and actually do something about it. I think that's part of what's helping and hurting America. Because it's like, yeah, I'm protecting myself, but at a certain point, like, you just leave, okay, now this fight is on the next generation. I ain't got it anymore. I ain't got it anymore, man. Every activist you done seen at some point was like, you know what, I'm not in the streets like that anymore. Like, you know, I give you, you know, I'll Skype you. We can have a conference.
That's why we do that's why we do the podcast, man. Because anything else, bro, I do not have the fortitude to be like every day to go out there and try to convince people and get people to understand. But this is the best way we know how to get y'all to straighten up. And when I do mean y'all, I just mean people, drifters, man. And I get that term from Napoleon's Hill, Outwitting the Devil, which is a great book, which is basically people who have spaces in their minds that they don't use, so they allow other people to think for them and come up with ideas for you instead of you sitting there coming up with your own way of thinking. This is the best way that we know how to help y'all, because y'all do need it. We need it too. Don't get us wrong. Like we in the process of learning too, but we are in the process. This show is basically for y'all to be in the process and to see what we see sometimes. Or to get y'all to see like other points of view.
And if we wrong, we say we wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if people come on the videos and you actually give us points instead of just trying to insult us, like, you know what I'm saying, then that's working towards something.
Or if I see you have a comprehension problem, which is my biggest thing, bro. Like y'all try to make it seem like we arguing about stuff. Y'all come in the comment section trying to make it seem like we arguing something that we not talking about.
We didn't even mention.
Like, bro, that's not what we talking about. And don't try to make it seem like that's what we talking about. And then when you do that, when you be the I will only argue with people that I feel like are giving us genuine like criticism. I'll take that. I'm like, okay, I get that. I see what you're saying. Some people I would go back and forth honestly. Other people I'm not going. I'm gonna make fun of you. But I ain't got much. That's all I got. I'm TK, aka Soldier Slim.
I'm Darius, aka Manny Fresh.
and this is Mind the Gap.